Alright, and it's the next day. And, still have the mess on the floor, but I just kind of finished up. I didn't have the tab from the outrigger on there, the extension that I had cut off, so I redid that, got that reattached, and just kind of cleaned it up with the grinder a little bit more. That's that. I'm going to shoot some primer over it, keep it from getting punky. At some point I'll probably wire wheel the whole bottom after everything's done and throw some paint on it, and then when the truck's painted, shoot some oil on it. Anyway, I want to get the drivetrain in it, so Brian came over this morning to help me get the motor down on the ground. And the train's on the bench, and I want to kind of just go through them. I'm not restoring anything right now, but I just want to get it so they're functional. So if that one shifts into all gears and I can get that starter free. I know it spins, but it's stuck in the housing right now. Anyway, get that all bolted up and see if we can kind of make this so we can yard drive. That's the plan. Where's the light? Here's the light. And so I need stuff for the motor. I need motor mounts that go here. And just bits and pieces and whatever. I'm not even sure until I go see it. So I brought the stepchild, prom queen, is here also. And this is my part sword. This is what's going to make that thing live. Poor old girl. It was red, white, and blue at one point. You guys can see it now. The sun's in us. This is the shed. So we're hunting for stuff. I need motor mount. Motor mounts. There's another mustache bar right there. You see board. So I am gonna have to do some digging by the looks of it. I figured just kind of show you what I'm picking through. There's the dash I'm gonna need, door panels, all that kind of stuff. I got parts in here from that stripped Westie. You guys remember? That piece of crap motor that ran, the seized one. All that stuff's in here too. What do we got? I got some somewhere. Well, I'm gonna have to two-hand it looks like, and start digging for perks. And I'll turn these back when I find my little hoard. I just figured I'd show you what I got. Wait, a little further. Let's go down here. We got this trans and starter and CV joints and no motor mounts. So one of these 3 transmissions should be good. And what came out of that little quick search was 2 mounts. One of them shot, but it's in 2 pieces. But I could set it in there, put it on the side that takes the load, and be good enough to move it around until I order new ones. And just some hardware from bolting the motor in and bolting the rear tin in, the rear apron, and a gearbox that does not belong in this stash. It belongs in the gearbox stash, so I grabbed that out of there to relocate it to. So now I'm going to go out back and check another location for stuff and see if we can get anything else. And in the back, the other bus that has been filled up with parts for its time in the garage. So let's see if we can find. Whew. Any goodies in this one? I think we're doing more digging again. I think it's pretty much just this tote. If I'm going to find something, it'll be in this tote. The rest of it, I think, is kind of sheet metal that's stacked in the middle. Maybe the front seat. Let's go look. Camera. She's a hippie bus. This bus was a girl who followed the band Fish around. Her and her boyfriend each had a bus. Well, they met. First they had each their own bus. Oh, look, dead critters. Isn't that sad? And then they got together and they had a family, and so went the buses. New. I need that front skid plate. We definitely need that for the other one. But I don't think anything up here. Other than dead mice, I gotta reload my stock. Yeah, I gotta do that back tilt. Anyway, so that's this one, and this one's got a bunch of rust underneath it too, but it's in better shape. And I like the 68s. I like the fatter hubcaps on them. That's just me. Alright, I'm gonna go do some hunting. And the Horde pays back. A new one. How's that? So that'll work out good. And kind of good too when you thumb through this stuff, because it kind of helps you remember what you have as you build them forward. You're like, oh yeah, I saw a master cylinder back there. I saw this, I saw that. So it's kind of good to rustle through it once in a while. All right, back to the garage. All right, so I'm moving forward, and I got the well, trying to put that transmission in. I had these two CV joint shafts sitting in this one. It came with it, and the two different lengths. I figured it was an offset to one side, and that was it. No, that long one does not fit, and they're more that short size, and then that short one is actually missing a CV joint altogether. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that fiasco, how it came out of there. So I went and got one axle out of the parts bus, and that's it over there. And they're kind of a bitch to get out, just because the hardware gets all googled up in there. So you got to dig in there with a screwdriver and beat on them and crack them loose, and sometimes put vice grips on the inside so they don't strip out because they're just Allens. So I'm gonna go clean them up on the wire wheel. Innards usually stay pretty good as long as they stay greased up. You know, not much happens to them, and there's no torn boots, which there isn't. So that's that guy. I'm gonna go over with the wire wheel and clean them up, and then the trans is hanging. It's bolted. The shifter's hooked up. I just want to get the axles in, and once they're in, the clutch cables attached with a wing nut, and I get the throwout bearing on there. We can stuff the motor back in. Starter's cleaned up. All the shaft's been cleaned. It was a bitch to get off this trans. It's a bit of aluminum to steel corrosions, but I was able to finally get it through there. I hooked power to it when it was in this trans. It seemed like it spun pretty good, so that's where I'm going with this one. So I just want to take a little intermission, take a break, stretch. Crawling underneath that thing ain't all that fun. And I'm going to continue on. I'll clean that axle up, get them on there, and let's see if we can get a motor in it. Alright, so it's to that part of the program, hopefully, that we get to make some noise. Motor's back in, motor mounts are in, the clutch cable is set up. There's a cobbled together throttle cable. Turn the light on you guys. You can see how it's got like a piece of bar. The cable's probably broke off 4 inches shy. So that piece of TIG wire is doubling as the linkage for now, but it does work. And then over in the left-hand wheel well, there's a fuel can, and the pet's open, and the fuel line runs to the back side of the motor, where it will go normally with the gas tank. We're gonna run that. And I don't think I've ever primed this fuel filter, so I don't know if that fuel pump works or not, because that filter is looking pretty empty. But I did put some fuel down the carb. And what else we got going on? There's a hot wire going over to here, and the blue wire goes to the starter. So this will make it crank, and the green wire gives power to the coil to make it go. So I think I'm gonna pop you in the stand. I'm gonna go see if it'll come to life. Paper's off the carb. Yep. I think everything's out of harm's way. Let's see what we get. Okay, see? It's dark. Yes, we can. Power's on. See if it's got enough snot to make it crank. Well, that might be a problem. Nope. I know that jumper pack's on its way out. I thought it would have enough snot to run that. So let me go swap that over to a different unit, and we'll try again. Alright, see if this one's any better. No promises. I do need a battery for it. Come on. Like a kitten. Choke right now, but it did feel a little bit fuel filter. Good sign. Valve's got to be adjusted. So I'm gonna let that warm up. I got to do next is see if we can get a brake pedal for it. I have a brake pedal. I mean, pump it up and leave the brakes so I can get a brake pedal. And put the brakes back together. Then I can kind of putt it up and down the driveway, make sure we got all the gears. I'm going to leave that for another video. I think this would be a good place to stop on this one. Don't you know? I'm happy. It's alive. Still fluttery. It's awful 30 degrees. Go check engine light on. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care.